things that we did, but honestly, the game against Southern Miss, it seems like it was last season. It was so long ago. We're a different team than we were then. They're a different team. They're actually without maybe their most talented player, but they're playing better. It seems like they've shortened their rotation. I think they've gained a little bit more of an offensive identity. They just seem to be in more of an offensive rhythm than they were then. I think they were a grinded out, really good defensive team then. Now they're a really good defensive team that's a handful offensively as well.
How do you guys maintain the momentum that you kind of got in the second half of that game? Because, I mean, like you said, you had the 3-game losing streak, and then you had the slow first half, and then you kind of got going in the second half. So how do you maintain that momentum?
Well, hopefully just a lot of it just happens, on its own with just the rhythm that we had offensively, with the confidence that some guys were able to obtain, especially Raheem. We'll have a couple more practices before we head to Hattiesburg. A lot of it will have to do with the scouting report and concentrating on defending them, scoring against their zone. But surely our confidence level has got to be in a pretty good place right now as we head to the second round.
Is the routine anywhere similar to the regular season? Obviously, when you went out to New Mexico State and Denver, you stayed out for the WAC. And now these guys have, been to class. Is it kind of almost getting back to a little bit more of a similar routine to the regular season?
Yeah, it was definitely different. Had Kane help me, maybe a 12-day road trip out west. That was day to day, just reevaluating, I guess how we approach each practice and each shoot around. Having study hall on the road and dealing with losses, it was definitely different than getting back here. Kids are back in class. We were able to give a couple days off here and there, able to have some success and get back on the right track. So we definitely feel like we're somewhat back to normalcy.
Coach, you say that you're a different team than you were the first time you played Southern Miss. What players do you look back at over the season that are different from that first game to now?
Great question. I think Alex Hamilton sticks out first and foremost in terms of taking strides, getting more opportunity, taking advantage of his opportunities. He's coming off his best game at Florida State, having scored 16, played a lot of minutes. Speedy and Raheem are better players than they were early on in their sophomore years. Keon McNeil and Brandon Gibson are dealing with injuries now, so they're a little bit different. Now they could both play great against Southern Miss, I'm not sure, but they're feeling different than they were a couple months ago. I think Mike Kaiser's come into his own a little bit, playing a little bit older, a little bit playing a little bit more physically, rebounding the ball better. Those guys stick out.
Coach, how did you
played them before and you beat them? Does that enter into helping y'all's confidence? Doesn't mean deadly now. I mean, what's the haven't beaten them? They're different. You're different.
I'm sure it helps them more, because they can just watch the film and look at the 3 or 4 things they could have done a little bit better that may have put them over the top. I don't think it helps or hurts us. For an immature team, it could hurt if we just think we can be complacent, go down there and play average and have success. And I really don't think our kids think that. And if they do at practice today, we'll correct that quickly because we know we're going to have to play awfully well as we did in Tallahassee to have a chance.
Coach, your bigs got in foul trouble at Florida State. You put Gibby Talbot in.
Yep.
Talk about Gibby's play. He probably the most significant minutes he's played all year.
Yeah, in that type of game for sure. It had been a while since he logged a few minutes or more. He did some good things. He definitely matched their size and physicality. He got to the ball a couple times. He also made a couple freshman mistakes that he'll learn from. But he'll be a good player here. He just needs more and more opportunity.
Do you feel like you guys have really regained your identity defensively with how you played against Florida State? Assess where you think that is right now.
I hope so. Texas San Antonio hit some hard shots. They have 2 little guards that can go get their own shot anytime they want, and it's just a matter of contesting them as best you can. Sometimes good guards make contested shots. I don't think we were awful defensively against those guys. I thought it was more the case of UTSA being really good offensively. So having said that, we've been pretty consistent on that side of the ball all year long, and I hope that continues. It should.
The offensive rebound really helped against Florida State. Is that obviously going to be another emphasis, especially if the shots don't fall at the rate you would hope they would fall?
Yeah, gradually we've become a better offensive rebounding team throughout the year with the emergence of Mike Kaiser, playing with more strength and gaining experience. Our wings have done a much better job in the past month or so, really the past couple months, than they did early on in the season at flying to the rim with reckless abandon. You know, that's their job as a 3, as a 4, as a 5. We send three to the glass consistently, and offensive rebounding is a lot of it is just want to and desire and mental and physical toughness. So I want to say over the last couple months of the WAC regular season, we led the league in offensive rebounding. So we'll continue to stress that, especially when you're playing a team that is going to zone you for 40 minutes. There should be opportunities if we do our jobs, although they're very physical and they're very disciplined to block out as well.
Coach, talk about that zone that they run. It's kind of, I think you called it an amoeba before, where
I'm not sure what the heck it is.
where they
We have
kind
a
of
plan on how to
they
attack it.
They pressure the
Yeah.
ball almost like it's a man, but just
Yeah.
talk about it.
It's it's a unique zone that Donnie implemented there, and he's done a great job with it. They're terrific defensively. It's different. It seems like depending upon what you're trying to run against it. Sometimes they'll trap ball screens, sometimes they'll trap the corner, sometimes the middle's open, sometimes it's not. We'll need to keep the ball moving, just like we do, and like you'd hope to do against any type zone. And against zones, you'd hope that if you take care of the ball and continue to move it, move your body, you get decent looks. When you step up and make jump shots, find ways to get it on the interior a little bit, convert, of course, and be on that offensive glass like we've been over the last couple of months.
Who stepped up for them, Michael, since, say, December?
They're all playing. They're all playing a little bit better. They're shooting 39% from 3. They really shoot the ball well, and then they're tough and physical on the interior. They got a couple guys that can score with their back to the basket, and they're really good on the offensive glass. You know, they've gone from a good to a really good offensive team since December.